What's up, guys? Hope you are healthy and safe, and today I'm coming at you with a new flight simulator setup behind me. I have slowly pieced this together over time, doing a lot of research as I gear up for the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 release. Coming next Tuesday. We are getting very, very close, very exciting. I know a lot of you are as stoked on it as I am. So today I just want to show you what I got going on with the setup, talk a little bit about it, and then let's do some flying on X-Plane 11. Let's start with this honeycomb yoke. This has proven to be pretty incredible compared to the real thing. I'm very, very happy with it, very impressed. Now the computer is from MSI. This is the new Trident X, and it is beautiful. I love it. They have different versions of this. This one is the i7, but it does have the 2080 Ti graphics card in it. It runs super quiet. I think it's gonna run Microsoft Flight 2020 really, really well. I love the amount of inputs on it. All the USB, because I have a lot of USB going on back here. The yoke system, the keyboard, the mouse, the throttle, the rudder, my headset, which is a wireless Bluetooth, and this is an Arctic Steel Series headset. I'm gonna put all this below so you can check it out in the description. Down here, I got the thrustmaster, throttle, and stick, but I just got a much better one as far as reviews go, and from what I have felt so far, this one is doing a much better job, and I'm really excited to use it. I also like how this one has the throttle separate from the stick, because right now, when I'm flying with the yoke and I'm using this throttle, I have to disable the joystick in settings and make sure that these axes are turned off. Otherwise, it'll mess with this. So it's nice to have a throttle that's completely separate from a stick. And it's nice to have a yoke and a stick, because then you can switch to whatever you want depending on what you're flying. Now, this is a Samsung 32-inch ultra-wide monitor. Pretty happy with it so far. I will say it's been kind of weird going from an iMac Pro 5K screen to this, so I'm still like trying to figure out how much I like it, because I've been buying different monitors and just testing them out and then like returning them if I'm not satisfied, trying to figure out what I want here. I think 32 inch is perfect for me. And then down here I have thrustmaster pedals. Down here, ignore that freaking mess back there, because I am going to tidy up all those wires. I bought some tubing, so ignore that wire mess. But the thrustmaster pedals, they've been really, really good. I like them a lot. I'm just going based on reviews, doing a lot of research, all my research based on reviews, and I do dig those pedals. So yeah, this is my setup. The desk can go up and down, but really this is my workstation. This is not just for flight simulating. This is also where I edit all my videos and I do all of my work. Pretty stoked on all this. I can't wait to start streaming for you guys. I'll have a Discord channel. I'm excited to do some bush flying, formation flying together, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So let's get right to it. Let's jump in to X-Plane 11 now. What Microsoft has done creating such a real world, it's gonna be a great way to explore the world and travel. I mean, I'm really excited about it. I know a lot of you are as well. And in that excitement, I ended up installing X-Plane 11 for now. And I started messing around with it yesterday, got to know it a little bit. So let's do some tailwheel flying. I am a private pilot. I've had a private pilot's license for 4 years. Most of my time's in a Cessna 152. I also owned a Cessna 140 for a little bit. And right now I'm also flying a tail aircraft. These are all airplanes that I rent as far as the 152 goes and the T-Craft. So I do have some tailwheel time. I've soloed tail draggers, and it's my favorite. Flying tailwheel airplanes is definitely my favorite, and I'm really into the history and all that. So I could go on about this forever, but let's go ahead and do a new flight. I want to talk about the Stinson L5 Sentinel that came with X-Plane 11. Now I know there's a lot of airplanes that you can download, and there's a lot of add-ons, third-party plugins and stuff for X-Plane 11 to make it more real. But I'm just playing with the default settings for now. I am going to do real world conditions, and I love this interface, by the way. Like, I could see why people love X-Plane 11 for a lot of reasons, and I'll definitely talk a little bit about that compared to Flight Simulator from 2006. And the interface and the menu and everything, the ability to change the weather, like in flight. Some of the stuff I've noticed Microsoft incorporated into the new one, and X-Plane 11 already had it integrated. So we're going to do real world date and time as well. Go ahead and load in the Stinson. I'm going to load in right on the runway. It's a grass strip in Montana. Actually, it's in Montana. This place is it's a really cool place for some bush flying, and it's southeast of Kalispell here in the mountains. And I'm just going to do a takeoff and then circle around, do a landing. I want to talk about this airplane, how this airplane's flying, my thoughts as a real tailwheel pilot, and how this flies. Let's do fuel mixture, landing light, nav, strobe, master battery, avionics, which we're not going to use. And let's start her up. Let's throttle slate. There we go. Release the parking brake. Yeah, there it is. So that's the parking brake for this airplane. Still getting everything worked out. My controls. That's good. Make sure we have rudder control. Let's do the ailerons into the wind a little bit. See where she wants to go. Start with the footwork. What we want to do is we want to get that tail up as quickly as possible. It's going to give us more control of the airplane. So we're going to push the nose forward a little bit. And see, that's exactly what I wanted to show you. Is this airplane will just go right off the runway. Like, I had left rudder in, my ailerons are into the wind, and the airplane just like skids off the runway. That does not happen in real life, folks. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm sure some of you have had a lot of frustration with this airplane on X-Plane 11. Maybe there's some third-party things that made the tailwheel flying better, but what I did is I downloaded a Cub. Found this Cub. You got a standard Cub, one on floats, and then one with Tundra tires. And I'm going to load this Cub, and it has just proven to be so much more realistic to me for some reason. I don't know what it is about that default Stinson, but man, that thing is freaking crazy. It just like runs right off the runway, and in real life, things don't work like that. I have gotten it to take off and done a much better job taking off, but just nowhere near like the real thing. So hopped in this Cub, and I'm gonna come up to the front seat. I'm gonna do the exact same thing in the Cub, right? Let's release the parking brake there. Exact same thing. And I know I'm flying with a yoke, and these airplanes are a stick, but it's the same thing. Same deal, it doesn't matter. I am getting a new stick so that I can fly with the right equipment depending on what airplane I'm flying in. See, that, my friends, is how a takeoff should look. This thing really needs to be trimmed. So I'm going to trim it. Oh, is that up top? I don't know, I have it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that handle. I have it mapped on my yoke right here. I'm just curious where the handle is. So in the tailorcraft, it's up here. Alright, so we're off. And then I'm going to turn around and do a landing. We're going to have a left crosswind on the landing. I'm just going to do a quick turnaround here. But the way that this handles is so much more realistic to me if you're looking for something that, you know, is going to be a more realistic tailwheel airplane. Again, I know there's probably third-party installations you can do, make it a lot better. Let's get turned around here. Alright. Now we're going into the wind. And start to slow her down. See how I do on this landing. Still getting used to the simulation because it's not quite like reality, but hey, it's still fun. Don't let it deter you. I love this. This is awesome. To be able to fly from home and like not have to spend a bunch of money to go flying or explore the world is so freaking cool. So they're crabbing into the wind, which is totally fine. We do a little right rudder, slowly working it down, bleeding off airspeed. That's a little bit of a bounce there. That's okay. Now it's just all rudder here, all rudder control here. Keep the ailerons into the wind. Work it back, and then now we're going uphill on this incline a little bit, so. Cool. Such a simple machine. I love it. I love it. And I do want to know IFR flying, and I have been learning a Garmin G1000. And I'd like to continue to learn a Garmin G1000 and eventually get my IFR. But again, all money. The simulator is so fun. I could see why people love X-Plane 11. I love that you can do this replay. This is one of my favorite features. The fact that I can rewind and watch my landing from a different camera angle is so cool. I love that. It's like, all right, let's see how I did. I don't know why there's all this dirt coming off my tires, but you can literally see your landing exact. So a little bit of bounce there. A little uncoordinated. Not quite exactly how things would happen in real life, but you're trying to generate aerodynamics and wind and all this stuff, and I'm sure Microsoft with the new simulator did an incredible job. But this is so cool to me. You could just like, and what's with all the skidding with the grass runway when you do all this skidding? To be able to zoom in like that. Like this, like you have a long lens watching your landing. So cool. So those are some of my thoughts on the tailwheel flying. I took it up and did a loop. Really excited to do some backcountry flying with friends. I also started a Discord channel for some of that, so we can start connecting and getting together and let's go fly together, you know? It's so cool. We could just go do some formation flying. I've seen all these guys doing it who had access to the beta, and it looks like a lot of fun. I think I got some David Clark headset. Is that what he's got? David Clark headset? That doesn't look like me. That guy doesn't even have a beard. Let's go to Sedona and fly a Cessna Skyhawk with a G1000. This is a very popular airport now because Microsoft, this is one of their handcrafted airports. Let's just make our wind like a crosswind. If we're taking off on runway 3, like a right crosswind or left. Let's do a left, whatever. 12 knot crosswind. And then let's add a layer of clouds. Let's do some cumulus clouds. Love all this. And I know Microsoft Flight 2020 has all this stuff too. All right, so let's start on runway 3. And I'm not going to do any IFR, Garmin, G1000 stuff or anything, but I'm just going to stay in the pattern, run a traffic pattern, and do a takeoff and landing with tricycle gear, see how the tricycle gear does. I think it does a lot better job than the tailwheel flying as far as realism. So here's our windsock. Yep, left crosswind. Right. I already got the master battery on. Avionics should be off. Just go ahead and turn all of our lights on except for taxi. We don't need that. Since we're already on the runway, let's do throttle slight, mixture in, and let's start her up. That's cool. There's a view here. On top of the FBO, I guess. it's just playing around with those camera angles. It's just cool. It's not something you get to do in real life, you know? Because I love it. Alright. Let's go full throttle. Definitely need some right rudder, which is good. Ailerons in the wind. Approaching rotation speed. Right about now. Okay. Wind is pushing us, so that's good. It's a good sign. That's good. Trim it. Oh, maybe Sedona's not that high. Above sea level. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just gonna run a traffic pattern. We are upwind runway 3 right now. Did a decent job of staying centered. Alright, now I'm gonna turn crosswind. Use a little bit of left rudder to help stay coordinated. These clouds look nice. But nothing visually, nothing compares to the new Microsoft 2020 visually, of course. And I'm sure there's X-Plane scenery you can download that makes all this look better, but I still don't think it compares. The new one is what did it for me. That's what made me get back into this simulation, because I did flight simulate before I started flying in real life. I've been flight simulating ever since I was a kid. Not like consistently, but off and on. You can learn a lot from this stuff. It's really cool, but now it's just next level that it's become something to explore the world. All right, so we're on a left downwind for runway 3. This is an uncontrolled airport, so this is about where I would say Sedona traffic, Cessna 172, Sierra Papa. It's on a left downwind for runway 3. Let's pull back some power. Go to about... Where are my RPMs at? Oh, they're right there on the G1000. Cool. 1700 RPM. And let's do a notch of flaps. Landing lights already on. Start working our way down. Keep adjusting the trim. So trim wheel here. I've got a trim on my yoke very conveniently, and I use that a lot in real life. So, and most pilots do. So, get used to using that trim. Forgot to turn the avionics on, but I guess it doesn't matter because it's a simulation. All right, turning the left base. We're gonna add another notch of flaps. Sedona traffic, Cessna 172, Sierra Papa's on a left base for runway 3. And let's turn final, because the wind's going to push us, so we're going to turn final now. So that wind is going to try to push us away from the runway. Sedona traffic, Cessna 172, Sierra Papa's on a final for runway 3. Full stop landing. So I like that the wind is trying to push us. That is realistic. I can't say that it's like spot on exactly how it would in real life, but it's good. I'm not gonna add a third notch of flaps just because I don't have to. No need to do that. Gotta get used to moving my mouse out of the way, sorry. Coming in at about 65 knots, 70 for the approach, yep. That's good, everything's looking good. We are crabbing a little bit, so I like that. I like little bit of realism there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the power. We got a nice long runway here. Just start playing with it. All right, so just down. Oh, that did not want to float at all. Horrible landing. Let's go up one more time and I'm gonna circle back quickly. Do a little better job. I do love this yoke, guys. If you're a hardcore armchair pilot, Honeycomb is making some really dope stuff. And they're coming out with the throttle in the fall. Throttle mixture, prop feathering, and it looks really badass. And like more controls as well. And I'm definitely gonna be picking that up because it's so cool. They make some really legit stuff. Alright, here we go. I don't care if I'm on center line. Just want to be nice and smooth. So I'm definitely rushing the landings a little bit. But I will say, like, the tricycle gear, my landings are much better in real life, but the tricycle gear handles more realistically than the tailwheel right now. Just the aerodynamics of a tailwheel aircraft and the way that the backwash works and like the P factor and all that stuff is just pretty complex. Let's go back to the bush plane. Let's go to like, ooh, I have a saved flight. Let's do one more thing. Tundra Alaska low. So this is me flying the Cub with Tundra tires in Alaska, super low to the water. And we're gonna try to do some skiing. Some water skiing with the airplane. All right, let's see if we can do this. The engine just doesn't sound right on this airplane. Like, it sounds like it's idling right now and I'm at full power. In fact, I'm gonna go to like 75% power because I don't need to be at full power. Let's come down to, if you look at where the sun is, you should see the shadows start to appear to the bottom left when you start getting low enough to the water. Let's do some skiing. I'm just gonna stay off the rudders. Will it actually have the water effects? I think there's a beta that was out. I know that there's a beta out that made the float plane a lot more realistic. Oh, too much. This is really all about the trim. All right, it should slowly be coming down now. There we go. Start to trim it up a little bit. Let's see if we can ski this baby. Okay. There we go. Tires down. I got a little bit there. No water effects. Why is the plane like glitching out? The shadow of it. It's freaking out. There you go. There's some water skiing. I don't know. I don't want to crash again. Oh, I love this. I love the flyby. Okay, like that view is so cool. And then when you zoom in, like that's beautiful to me. I love that. But especially that. To be able to zoom in long lens like that, I plan on making a lot of aviation videos out of this because I want those camera angles in real life. So it's just so cool to see that. Usually the ground though doesn't just exist in angles, in 45-degree angles, so let's go up to the other side of this mountain and then do a loop. And then we'll be done. And I really look forward to making more flight sim videos with you guys. This is a lot of fun. And it's an outlet for me to be able to fly more often because flying's expensive and I'm not rich yet. So I can only fly so much in real life, and this will fill in the blanks, that's for sure. Especially like exploring the world, getting to know other airports. How cool is it, like if you want to go do a real flight in real life, you can simulate it first and see exactly what it's going to look like and learn your waypoints. You can learn your flight before you even go. Like, I've only flown in St. Augustine, Florida, and around different airports in Florida, so it's just going to be such a game changer to be able to fly at different places in the world. I don't know why the climb is so crappy. Because we're at sea level. I mean, maybe it's the temperature. I know a Cub is slow, but like, what is up with that? Got it trimmed off. Let's do this other view that I love. So cool. Looks like it's crabbing into the wind a little bit, which is nice. Yep. Neat. That's beautiful. And it's not even the new scenery yet. But yeah, and I have a Discord channel started called the Aerodrome. I will post the link below. Join it, because we're going to be doing some formation flying. We're going to be doing some fun stuff, and I'll stream it or record it and then post it. I guess it's not like live streaming, but maybe I'll do some live streaming, and we can go fly together. We can connect, and I'll tell you what I know about flying. I'm a humble pilot. I'm not going to talk about things I don't know about, but as someone who is pretty obsessed with aviation, I know a good bit, and I can give you some real life flying experience. Let me know what you're excited about doing for what you want me to do in Flight Simulator 2020, because I have a lot of ideas. I'm going to do a mixture of probably maybe some educational stuff and then just stuff for fun. More opportunities to fly is how I see it, and as an educational tool for me to learn as well. But let me know if you guys have any ideas or things you want me to do. I want to make videos that are very cinematic, that have like very cinematic shots, and explore locations in the world and how they look with all the different camera angles. So I want to get really good at the different camera angles on Microsoft Flight 2020 so that I can make some really cool videos for you guys. All right, let's do a roll. And get it up to like 120 before I go into this. All right, I'll start to pitch up. Pull the throttle back. All right. We did a roll. Fun. What about a roll? Or a loop. We did a loop. What about a roll? What about a roll? Cool. That was not very coordinated. Let's see if I can do one a little more straight. Ooh, pulling some G's there, I see. It's in the red. That was fun. So anyways, this is Brady from Alaska signing off as I drift away into the Alaskan wilderness. Cheers, guys.